How to force yourself to be disciplined. Listen closely. Your life will not change because you want it to. Your life will change because you force it to. Discipline is not something you wait for or hope for or get inspired into. Discipline is something you build by doing what you said you would do, especially when you don't feel like doing it. Right now, you're either controlled by your excuses or controlled by your standards. And this audiobook will teach you one truth. You can force yourself to become the person you keep pretending you want to be.
Chapter: Stop trusting motivation. Motivation is the most overrated force in your life. People treat it like fuel. They treat it like a promise. They treat it like a friend. But motivation is none of those things. Motivation disappears the moment life stops feeling convenient. And that's the truth most people never learn. You know this already. Think about the last time you said, "This year will be different." Think about the last time you made a New Year's resolution with fireworks in the sky and fire in your chest. Where is that fire now? Exactly. It died the moment real life showed up. Motivation is strong when nothing challenges it. But when pressure hits, when stress shows up, when life asks you to prove it, motivation vanishes. And that's why you can't trust it. That's the key. You can't build a strong life on something that evaporates when you need it most. Here's the truth. Motivation is emotional. Discipline is mechanical. One is a feeling. One is a system. One is unpredictable. One is repeatable. You have a choice. You can build your days around your feelings, or you can build them around your standards. You don't need motivation. You need movement. Say that again. You don't need motivation. You need movement. That's the phrase that will save you from yourself. Look at people who fail their goals, not because they're weak, not because they're incapable, but because they wait for a feeling. They wait for inspiration. They wait for energy. They wait for the mood to be right. And while they wait, their life stays exactly the same. New Year's resolutions fail for one reason. They're built on emotional hype, not behavioral discipline. You set goals in a burst of excitement, but you quit in silence. Why? Because motivation got you started, but discipline wasn't there to take over. Motivation sparked you. Discipline carries you. That's the difference. That's the key. Think about athletes, not the ones who post pretty workout routines on social media. I'm talking about real athletes, professionals, champions. Do you think they wake up every day excited to train? No. They wake up tired. They wake up sore. They wake up human. But they train anyway. They move anyway. They execute anyway because they know the truth. Motivation is optional. Movement is mandatory. Soldiers don't wait for motivation. They follow orders. Orders create clarity. Clarity creates discipline. And discipline creates consistency. Soldiers don't care about feeling like it. They care about doing what must be done. And that is exactly how you must live if you want control over your life. Creators, writers, filmmakers, musicians don't trust motivation either. They know creativity doesn't come from waiting. They sit down, even when they feel empty. They produce, even when the spark is gone. They show up, even when the world isn't clapping for them. Why? Because they understand one truth. Discipline creates inspiration, not the other way around. Motivation doesn't create action. Action creates motivation. Movement creates momentum. Momentum creates identity. And identity sustains you when everything else collapses. But here's your problem. You've been trained to believe the opposite. You grew up hearing, "Follow your passion," "Find your motivation," "Wait until you're ready." Those phrases sound nice, but they destroy people. You don't need to feel ready. You need to move. You don't need to feel inspired. You need to start. You don't need a spark. You need a system. That's the key. So let's break it down into something simple, something real, something you can use today. Rule number 1. Stop expecting to feel like it. Remove that expectation from your life. You won't feel like it tomorrow. You won't feel like it next week. You won't feel like it next month. Your feelings are unpredictable. Your actions shouldn't be. Rule number 2. Build robotic routines. Wake up, move, execute. Don't negotiate. Don't debate. Don't bargain with yourself. Robots don't need motivation. Machines don't need motivation. Your routines should function the same way. When the time comes, you do the thing. End of story. Rule number 3. Measure actions, not emotions. Stop asking, do I feel motivated? Start asking, did I move today? Because movement builds discipline, and discipline builds the life you want. Remember the line. You don't need motivation, you need movement. Write it somewhere. Say it again. Let it become part of how you think. Motivation will betray you at 5 a.m. Motivation will betray you on the days you feel overwhelmed. Motivation will betray you when no one is watching. Motivation is emotional. Discipline is loyal. That's the difference. That's the key. Let's talk about identity. Because your lack of discipline isn't a behavioral problem. It's an identity problem. You think you're the kind of person who needs motivation. You think you're the kind of person who works best when they feel inspired. That's a lie. You work best when you work consistently. You work best when you move first and feel second. You work best when you do the hard thing before your emotions have time to speak. Your identity needs to shift from, I am someone who tries, to, I am someone who executes, not because you're motivated, but because you're disciplined. Not because you feel ready, but because you've decided to move. Strength comes from repetition. Power comes from consistency. Confidence comes from keeping promises to yourself when no one sees it. And that doesn't come from motivation. It comes from doing the work again and again and again. So here's your real challenge. Stop asking for motivation. Stop searching for motivation. Stop waiting for motivation. Start building discipline. Start creating systems. Start becoming someone whose actions are predictable, even when their feelings aren't. You have a choice. Every day, every moment, every decision. You can choose to wait for a feeling, or you can choose to build a life. Motivation is a spark. Discipline is the fire. Motivation comes and goes. Discipline stays. Motivation fades. Discipline grows. You don't need motivation. You need movement. And that brings us to the next truth you must master. Something even stronger than discipline alone. Structure, systems, self-order. If you want a life that doesn't fall apart when pressure hits, you need a framework that holds you accountable, even on your weakest days. You stop depending on motivation. Good. Now it's time to learn the next step.